Good morning, y'all. 10 a.m., October 28th, 2024, and this is Trooper Steve on patrol. I am Trooper Steve Montiero, one of your anchors, your traffic safety expert at WKMG News 6, and we are live currently in Results 1. I always like to throw that out there every now and then. A lot of you guys join us quite often. I am trying to watch this live with you on YouTube because I want to see what it looks like out on YouTube. But man, it's been a few weeks, and this last weekend was one of the first weekends where I got to take it just super nice and easy, and I tell you, that was probably the best part about it. What are we talking about today? We're talking about merge lanes, and merging can be very difficult for some of you guys because we feel very entitled because we're trying to get up to speed with everybody else. We assume that traffic is going to be fine, and then it's not, right? But a question was presented. Passing in the merge lane. One of my biggest pet peeves that I have when it comes to traffic, because the simple answer, if you've already read over the web article at clickorlando.com, is no. You cannot pass in the merge lane. And there are rules and regulations that actually cover improper passing on the right. There is a Florida law that governs passing on the right when overtaking on the right is permitted, 316.0804. I've got it pulled up right here because I've written this citation plenty of times. It is a moving violation. It does come with 3 points on your driver's license if you do improperly pass on the right-hand side of somebody. So before we even head out here and where we're going, I'm pretty sure we might see it. We're going to hit 408 and we're going to make our way towards downtown Orlando westbound from the Goldenrod area. And that's currently where we're sitting out here. I'm sitting off of one of these parking lots out here at the Speedway gas station off of Goldenrod. Just kind of hanging out this morning. Oh, there you are. Let me switch you over here. Better. So the driver of a vehicle may overtake and pass on the right of another vehicle only under the following conditions. Meaning, if I don't mention it here and you do it, you can get a ticket. Okay? My goal is for you to operate safely, get from A to B to B to A safely without getting a ticket, without getting into a crash, and hopefully without any stress, right? Because that's the goal. So when a vehicle is overtaking, is making or about to make a left turn, okay? So if you're approaching a vehicle, it's slowing down, there's space on the right, and you can move, you could pass it, okay? Safely. Upon a street or highway with an unobstructed pavement not occupied by parked vehicles of sufficient width of 2 or more lines of moving traffic in each direction. That's a mouthful. Upon a one-way street or upon any roadway on which traffic is restricted to one direction of movement where the roadway is free from obstructions. Okay, so then you get that. That's like something's blocking the road. You got to pass the vehicle on the right. Normally you wouldn't be able to, but there's space, so then you can because there's an obstruction. Okay. The driver of a vehicle may overtake and pass another vehicle on the right only under conditions permitting such movement is safe. Ding. In no event shall such movement be made by the driver off the pavement or main traveled portion of the roadway, meaning under no circumstance could you go on the road. I really wish they would write this stuff and not like I was sitting in like colonial court. It's like I feel like I need a wig, a big thing, a javelin here to start hitting this thing to read this to you because it's just ridiculous. But makes sense, right? So only times, meaning when we're out here and you're in the travel lane and you're trying to pass traffic and you see that merge, that beautiful merge lane just sitting there looking at you going, hey, I'm empty, and ultimately I don't end for a couple hundred feet, you can't use that. So let's hop out here on 408. Let's pray before we get on 408. I can't stand 408, guys. 408 really bothers me. I feel like it's Mad Max out there. Just the way people drive on 408 is pretty insane. Now, I did agree when they did increase the speed limit out there because we needed it. I think it was like 55 mile an hour. Come on. A little ridiculous. And then they dropped it up, bumped it up to 60, which you still get people doing 90 plus, which is absolutely insane. But you always get Orange County, a couple of troopers out there, always out there, making sure they're the referee. And you guys are doing what you're... Whoa, fast motorcycle there. Jeez. And he ran the red light. Clown of the day in a construction zone. My gosh. Okay, so just for educational purposes, let's talk about that. Construction zone, high rate of speed, ran a red light. Can anybody take a guess how much that would cost? Anybody? Standard ticket for running a red light is $256. Construction zone, what does that do? It doubles that, guys. 4 points driver's license. Oh my goodness, that would have been a ticket. All right, well over $500. All right, we're getting out here on 408. Let's take a breather. I really don't like coming out here, especially streaming out here. I'm not a big fan of it, just because there's so much going on. So we're gonna just hang out right here. And I'm gonna wait here because, you know, we're gonna practice what we preach. Remember that holding? Remember talking about that? Wow, okay, Raptor. Remember we talked about merging in and being kind and when passing another vehicle? Listen, if you're both moving quick, why do you need to overtake the car, right? If you're both moving, you're already at 60 mile an hour, just hold the lane for them. And that's what we did here for the Nissan. All right, so we are now eastbound, correction. We are now westbound along 408. Coming up on State Road 436, right travel lane, 60 on the nose in a 60 mile an hour zone. Right travel lane, westbound 408, again coming up on Cimarron Boulevard, aka State Road 436. We're talking about passing in the merge lane. So right now we are not in any type of merge. We are in the far right through lane. It is a permanent travel lane here. We can sit out here for a hot minute. But we got to pay attention to a lot of signage out here. Look at here. This Tesla. Ultimately, this lane's going to end. How do we know that? The markings out on the ground here. Tesla got up on speed a little bit, probably well over the speed limit, but look, they're slowing down, paying attention to what's going on. Those square markings lets us know that that lane is going to end. It is not going to continue. It's going to change into something else. So we're going to continue here, right lane. But listen, we can't sit here and hold the lane forever. So if you're wanting to change lanes, get on it, guys, and change lanes. Put your signal on. Like this. See? Why would that vehicle have to do that? That makes no sense. So that construction vehicle, what did it do? It made its mistake and made it everybody else's mistake around them. How? By slamming on over too fast from too far right lanes because he wanted to continue. Why not just go into the toll? Just something to think about, guys. Why not just go into the toll? It would have been the same, right? Right. So let's continue. So here, this is a good example. See how there's a merge lane on the far right over here? If traffic was backed here, it would be illegal for me to slide all the way into that merge lane if it was open and pass traffic. However, this right lane, what is it? The right lane is now the through lane. We are in the second to right. I like this. This is like we're on a virtual driver education class happening live right here inside Results One. So one of the most beautiful places I find, me personally here in Orlando, is right here. Westbound 408 coming up on Crystal Lake Drive. You've got the Orlando Executive off to the right-hand side there across Crystal Lake. Plane coming in here shortly for landing. It's just nice. You got the City of Orlando skyline. Tyndall Park off to the right. No, that's not Tyndall, excuse me. But it's just a great, great portion of the city here. So here, this happens every day. Sign says right lane ends 1,600 feet. So if I, right now, because this car in front of us is going well under the speed limit. But if I went into that right merge lane to pass this vehicle, that would be an improper pass and a moving violation. The only way to do it, left turning signal, come on over and pass them that way. The merge lane is not any type of passing lane. It is not to be used unless you are already in that travel lane trying to merge into traffic. And that's the only time that is to be used. It's not for anybody else who's not originally in it. And what do I mean by originally? Meaning your direction of travel brought you into that merge lane. You didn't choose to be into that merge lane. Does that make sense? So, for example, here, we're going to continue traveling as we're approaching I-4. This is another. Thank you for the turn signal. I appreciate that very kindly. But what are they doing wrong? Double lane change in a single motion. You must possess your travel lane. They didn't even look over. Another car could have been speeding. So you must maintain your travel lane. So one lane change at a time. No multi-lane changes, guys. All right. So we're here, but the signage says this right lane is going to continue straight. So I'm just going to hang out here. And as we continue, it's just going to merge right on through. It's really smooth. This Trooper Steve, sponsored by, just joking. We are proudly sponsored by Gibson Truck World, the king of trucks located in Sanford. 100% sponsored by Gibson Truck World. Check them out, because that's where this thing came from. I want to make sure I fix that. So listen, super easy, right? We'll do one last example right over here, and we'll wrap this show up on a Monday, guys. So we're going to cross over I-4, or westbound 408, right travel lane, and the topic is passing in a merge lane. Are you allowed to do it? And the very plain answer, absolutely not. You are not allowed to use it. So here, if this was open and this traffic and I wanted to pass one lane, no. Only the cars that are forced into it, meaning they're going through some type of travel transition to get there, and they're now originally in the merge lane to get into active travel lanes. I really, really hope I'm explaining this in a way that makes some sort of sense. So now I'm going to do something on purpose. I'm going to move into this right lane. Say we did not know that it was going to end at some point. We're just going to hang out here. We're going to continue. As we're traveling, I do believe this lane does end. And then the only people that would be allowed in it would be the ones originally in it. So this lane does not end, but this is the example right here. If we were approaching right now, right here, and westbound 408 at Rio Grande was blocked, the right lane here is a merge lane. I would not be allowed to pass traffic on the right-hand side simply so that I can move a few cars up. So listen, I really hope that I was able to break this down in some sort of understanding and demonstrating it. This is not easy, guys. I just want you to know that. We are going to be out this week, obviously promoting a lot of Halloween safety. I want everyone to have an amazing week. So I just changed some stuff in the calendar. My producer Thomas, just letting you know. Wednesday, we are going to go out into a community, and I want to demonstrate some proper ways that you should be trick-or-treating. Maybe even bring some gear out to help you, just show you what you should be rocking and rolling while you're out there. And then on Thursday, on Halloween, we're going to have some medical doctors inside Results One, talking about the things that they see on Halloween and the ways we can avoid it. So until then, have an amazing week. Stay safe. Weather's going to be decent. Keep up with the weather app. Our chief meteorologist, Candace Campos, always updating that. And then, of course, David Nazario, our newest meteorologist, always streaming, man. And this guy is delivering some really good information. So check it out. I'm going to leave you guys with this front shot of beautiful traffic. Love you guys. Be safe. And I'll talk to you later.